Our jokes related to songs. We give you all the news that you need to know. From World Wrestling Entertainment to All Elite Wrestling. We rate the bloody wrestling bouts. So join the boys on all platforms. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or X. This is the TD's Wrestling Show. The TD's Wrestling Show. This is the TD's Wrestling Show with Sexy Sam Watts,
The Big Town Boski. Yet again. Yeah, bang bang. We've done it too many times. He's not here yet again. But anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to the TDS Wrestling Show and Pro Wrestling World on this fine and fabulous and wonderful Wednesday.
Warm Wednesday.
Warm?
Warm?
Why is this?
I'm sweating buckets.
You're going to be sweating buckets in a minute, my friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you will.
Oh. What? Why?
Well, in a good way.
Okay.
This
okay.
is, you know.
Thought you were going to make me go for a jog or something.
No, I wouldn't do such a thing. Anyway, hello everybody. Hope you're all well on this wonderful day. Now, that's what we're doing here. That's right. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
now, what we're doing here right now, we're going to do something big, something special, and something us bunch of boyos have never done before, to the point, hopefully we don't just suffer an anxiety attack dealing with something like this, but I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful and fantastic experience. We did, we saw him head bob into our wonderful theme song. So what we're going to do is introduce to you former WWE referee. Please welcome Jimmy Korderas. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing great after that theme song that you guys got. My goodness.
You like that, do you?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I had to pull out. You made me pull out the lighter. See, that's old school. You know, I know everybody has the phones now, but I still have one of these.
What if you got a Nokia or something? You can't do like the typical thing on your iPhone. Or are you an Android guy?
Yeah, I'm an Android guy. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm a lighter guy.
yeah, you've got your lighter.
I'm old school all the way.
There you go.
Anyway, again, Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us today on this great occasion. We're so pleased to have you here. It's been a long time in the making, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, guys. You know, you guys have something great going here, and I enjoy it when I can because there's so much content now in wrestling. Wrestling shows on television, wrestling shows to catch online. So I try to pop in when I can. Unfortunately, sometimes real life takes over.
It does.
Yeah.
No, we get it. Speaking of real life, our other co-host, DDC, Darren Carpenter, he's here in the comments. So Jimmy, unfortunately, you probably may have heard this, but Darren has sold his soul to the retail industry. And he works the most unsociable hours, hence how he wouldn't be able to be here tonight, which is a damn shame. But he is here. Hey, Jimmy, so hyped you're here. Gutted I couldn't make it. I'm at work as usual. You are a great ref. What a lovely human being our co-host is.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Darren. That means a lot. See, if Darren would have sold his soul to the final boss, maybe things would have been different.
Of course.
Yeah.
We told him that he could have sold his soul to the final boss, as in the head of the post office here in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
He should have been a postman.
He should have been a postman.
But he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. No.
Are they similar to the postmen here? Well, letter carriers, as they like to be called.
Letter carriers. Oh, okay. No, our guys here in the UK like to be called postmen.
Okay.
And we get postmen and post ladies.
Yeah, post ladies.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the in-betweens. We won't go that far today, but
Okay.
yeah.
I don't want to start controversy. Let's leave it at that.
No. It's all good. It's all good. Right. Shall we? Let's crack on with this because we got some pretty cool questions we'd love to ask you. You've had a great career. We've watched you since, well, for me since 1995. You since 1992.
Yeah.
And here we are in 2025 talking to you right here, right now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm ready for anything. I'm no restrictions. You can ask me anything you want.
We're going to tell you something right now. We are not going to ask you anything about Owen. You've been asked about Owen Hart several times. We don't need to keep bringing that up. It needs to be kept to bed.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Go on
Yeah,
then.
we've been working on these questions for a little, well, since last night.
Yeah, we started last night, not last week.
But literally, first off, Jimmy, thank you for coming on the show. And I personally feel like you're such an underrated referee. I really do. So thank you for all your great matches that you have called. They've been cool.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm gonna just come straight at you with the first question. So you came into the WWE in the late 80s, and you had the opportunity to be part of some very special years and eras during your time there within the company. Is there a year or an era that stands out the most to you and means the most to you?
Obviously I could look to the start, because I did start in the 80s, which I'm dating myself here, but we recently lost someone like a Hulk Hogan, but I got to start in that era, which was incredible. And then I got to live through the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, the PG era, leading right into.
God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Sorry for mentioning that.
It's okay.
But for me, my favorite era probably was, as great as that early time was, that era right around the 2005 2006 era, right until I left WWE, was probably my favorite era for me, only because I had gotten to the point where I felt more comfortable than ever doing my job, if that makes any sense. Because you build a trust level as a referee with the talent as well. And I was blessed and fortunate enough to have that trust for a long time. But in that era, there were times where there were talent that would ask me what I thought, and that to me was like, that blew me away. You know what I mean? It's like, hey Jimmy, what do you think of this? And I'm like, you're asking me? Holy crap! Like Eddie Guerrero was asking me my opinion. And there are times, like for example, I'd be sitting, I have an Eddie match, and I'd sit in the room and I'd listen to them go over the match, and something would pop in my head, and Eddie was like, "What? I mean, what? What do you mean what?" He said, "What? I know that look. What?" He says, "What do you got?" I said, "Well, me, I don't like interjecting myself into your match. It's your match." He said, "No, give me the idea. If we like it, we'll use it. If we don't, guess what? Out the door. We won't use it. No big deal." And sometimes I'd present an idea and they'd use it, and sometimes they wouldn't. But either way, the fact that they would ask for my input almost made me feel like, okay, I'm not on the level of a superstar, but I'm part of the picture, part of the equation, which made me feel like I would belonged.
Yeah, you're all part of the same team,
Right.
And obviously, in this time period that you're on about, I think a lot of the wrestlers by that point have the respect for you, that you've called enough matches and you've seen enough to ask you for your opinion.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I've got some fond memories of you, especially during the Attitude Era, Jimmy, because I feel like you were the one that was always refereeing the hardcore matches.
Yeah.
Was there a particular reason for that?
I don't know. Looking back on it, I think it was a rib.
Okay.
But no, again, it's one of those deals where sometimes you get associated with matches like hardcore matches. I was there for the majority of them, a lot of them. TLC matches, I was also a lot. I did pretty much all of those, if not, the main ones with Dudley's, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys. I was there for the trilogy, which was awesome for me. So again, it becomes a comfort factor where they feel comfortable with you in those situations, where they could just plug you in and say, okay, you know how to handle especially in hardcore matches where anything can happen. The risks are elevated, and also the communication factor that you have to have, and also communicating in a way that doesn't look overtly like you're communicating.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because I've got a really fond memory. WrestleMania 17 is that's my personal favorite Mania of all time. You were in the match with Kane, Raven, and Big Show in the Hardcore Championship match. there's this one particular moment where Kane gets on to the golf cart and you're hitching a ride on the back.
Yeah.
What, could you go through that match? I mean, does that match stand out to you in any particular way? Because it's WrestleMania 17. Was that good fun?
It was a lot of fun. One of the things you as they fight throughout the building, because in those hardcore matches, falls can count anywhere. So I'm carrying the title belt with me throughout the entire match, which is
of course, yeah,
a pain in the butt as it is, but it's also kind of fun. But they came up with this idea that because as they were walking around the building during the day, they saw the golf carts in the building because it's a stadium. So to get around, to transport people around, they used golf carts, and they said, okay, how about during the match, what we'll do is Raven, who is the defending hardcore champion, will commandeer one of these golf carts and try to escape. Big Show will jump on the back and he will drag him down the hallway, and Kane, looking left out, will pick me up, or grab me, throw me on the back of one, and follow them down the hallway. And it was a fun idea until Raven got on the golf cart and took off. Big Show jumped on the back, and as he was making the turn, Big Show was so big and heavy, his weight lifted the front tires off the golf cart. So he couldn't steer it. And that's why it ended up veering to the left and into that fence that you saw there that it crashed into. But the cables, there were a bunch of cables running along the fence there that were power cables for all the rigging, the lighting, and stuff like that. And people panicked because they go, oh no, what if he knocks out all the power? What do we do then? So they couldn't get the golf cart out of there in any way that would make it look realistic without Big Show helping, because Big Show could have picked up the cart by himself and done it, but that wouldn't make sense. So they can continue down. So Raven just got off and started running down, and Big Show chasing him, which was fun watching in itself.
Yeah.
And then we showed up with the golf cart, and Raven took a bump in front of the cart, almost wanting to get hit by it, because that's the kind of guy he is.
Oh yeah, there was something special about that match. I don't know what it was. It must have been just because it was WrestleMania 17, especially when you look back on it, But there was that obviously one pretty brutal scene where Raven goes through the glass window.
Right.
That was like holy crap,
Yeah.
It
wasn't as bad as Kurt trying to throw Shane through the glass, but
oh no,
that's for sure.
No,
that's true. Did you referee that match with Kurt and Shane?
No, that was Mike Chioda.
Oh, we don't want to talk about Mike. We want to talk about you.
Yeah. The hell with Mike? What the hell?
Yeah. Don't you? Yeah. No, to be fair to Mike, when we saw him, when was it? February we met him.
February we met him. Yeah.
He did. He spoke so highly of you. He's such a big fan.
Yeah, we were writing partners for so long. You know what I mean? Him, myself, and unfortunately Tony Chimmel. But
why? Unfortunately, Tony Chimmel. Why is this?
Well, we have to get our digs in on Chimmel. If you don't get your dig in on Chimmel, it's funny because Chimmel and I ended up getting nicknamed Waldorf and Stadler for a long time. Because we would sit. I would be the driver. When we drive to town, I would drive because I'm the worst passenger in the world. I cannot sit there and let someone else drive because I'm, watch out for this. Hey, what are you doing? You're speeding. Even though I speed sometimes, kayfabe. But I just needed to drive, and and also whoever's driving gets to commandeer the radio and what you listen to.
Okay.
So that was one of the biggest things for me. But the main thing was I'm just a bad passenger, and I could drive all night long. I had a bad habit. I used to smoke. Okay, full disclosure. But as long as I had my cigarettes, my Pepsi, and my cheesy poofs, those Cheetos.
Yeah, we call them Watsits over here. Yeah, we know the ones.
All night long, I could drive. Just let me go. And my radio.
What would be on the radio though? What's your go-to?
It was all over the map, but mostly 70s.
Okay.
Anything 70s. I'm stuck in the 70s. It's like when I listen to Sirius Radio, it's a lot of 70s, a lot of yacht rock.
Mm-hmm.
And people look at me and like, come on, you listen to that stuff? Yeah. I listen to everything pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's my go-to stuff.
No. I like a bit of 70s. I love the band Kiss. I don't know what it is. There's something about Kiss.
Yes.
They're terrible but good at the same time.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Until they got into disco, right?
Yeah. I was made for love. Yeah, well, never mind.
That's the one. That's the
Yeah,
one.
you got it. So, here's a random question. Who would you ask for advice during your time in WWE, and maybe today, if you needed advice?
Advice as far as in what regard? Right?
Life, choices in life. Let's go with choices in life.
Wow.
The direction of your career at the time.
Direction of my career, obviously you go to the veteran referees, of course, Earl and
Yeah.
David at the time. Timmy White
Yeah.
was really, really good to talk to. Later on, when the guys from WCW came over, Scott Armstrong was a great guy to get some advice from. He was awesome. And believe it or not, William Regal.
Okay.
Because William Regal was the type of person that you can go to and not just talk about wrestling, just talk about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he had such a calming way about him, where he would talk to you, and he would never ever talk to you like you would learn from him with every conversation that you would have from him, but at the same time, he's not preaching. I don't know how to explain that.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And I always enjoyed, even the last time I saw him here in Toronto when they were here recently, got a chance to talk to him for a little bit. And again, just little things, because, I'm getting on in age and he's no longer an in-ring performer, but he still, feels the effects of it. And believe it or not, I have some lingering issues that I feel, but nothing debilitating or anything like that. Just little aches and pains that over the years, and, talking about how to take care of those, talking about dietary things, talking about, real life, how you doing and stuff like that. How things in your world.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And I always enjoyed talking to him. He's just a pleasant man to be around.
Do you know what? I've got that impression only, literally, obviously from what you've just said, but I've watched the first episode of that WWE Unreal
Yes.
on Netflix, and you can see near the end of that episode where, is it not Joseph Park, Abyss, isn't it?
Abyss, yeah.
Yeah. He's producing the match, and Bruce Pritchard, he's giving him a bit of stick. But William Regal was like, he comes over and he talks to him in such a nice, calm way, and he was just really pleasant. And I can see where you're coming from now.
Mm-hmm. I know he was the calming voice there. I mean, I know Bruce was getting on Chris a lot. Abyss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? There's only so much the producer could do. Yes, it's your match, you're responsible for it. But if you're telling them to do something in the ring, like, look, we're running short on time, you got to cut it short. Bottom line is, it falls upon the referee and the talent. The referee's communicating to the talent what they need to do. Like he was saying, they're cutting out the anaconda. They're cutting out this. They're cutting out that. So he's doing his best to hit his time. Now it falls upon the talent to do it, to hit their time as well. So unfortunately, the producer of the match is the one who gets all the heat. But as you saw in that clip also, William Regal was the one who was the calming voice, because, you can see that Abyss was feeling bad about it.
Yeah.
And he was the one who said, listen, you have nothing to feel bad about. And when I saw that clip there, because I've only seen 2 episodes so far, but when I saw that clip, that scene from the first episode, I said, you know what? That's the man I remember.
I love that.
Yeah, Regal's a legend.
Yeah, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
He is great.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. Okay, so this is a question I've always wondered. And now you're on the show, I can ask you this question. So, obviously, when WCW closed down in 2001 and the referees come over to the WWE, what was your thoughts on that? Also, was there a fear that some of the WCW refs might replace some of you guys?
There was that thought process going around, and some people's minds were thinking, oh boy, we don't need any more refs here, we got enough. But I never felt threatened. I was only concerned that there's only so much space, so what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate in the sense that I was also on the ring crew as well. So I thought to myself, and those of us that were on the ring crew as doing double duty, so to speak, were like,
Yeah.
because you're doing double duty, you're a little more valuable to the office, because if they get rid of you, then they have to find someone to fill 2 slots as opposed to 1.
Right. Okay.
So I felt comfortable, and there were others who were a little more unwelcoming.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, they weren't like very overt about it, but when people say you can see the boo boo face,
Hmm.
yeah, there were a couple of guys that had a boo boo face. Yeah, but for me, I got along with people like Charles right away. Nick Patrick, who is a veteran.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's, you know, he's when you could talk about referees, he's in the conversation in the top 10 or top 15, whatever you want to say. And the other guys, they all blended in, and
Yeah.
some or most stuck around, and some didn't. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
There,
No,
there,
that makes sense.
there is one that I can't remember his name. There was one of those guys that came over from WCW,
Mm-hmm.
but he was originally employed by WWE at one point. And then he went to WCW, and then he came through on the invasion angle. I never saw him after that. What the hell was his name, Jimmy?
It Billy? Was it Billy
Could-
Silverman?
I think it could be, yeah.
Or I don't think it was Mike Posey. Mike Posey was no, it wasn't Mike.
No.
I want to say maybe it was Billy Silverman.
Yeah, I think it was. I think that name rings a bell, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it
Yeah.
does. But I just think in general, like all you referees, you don't get enough recognition for like your careers in the wrestling industry, and you see like a lot of people going into the Hall of Fame, like commentators and all of that. And I understand like Earl Hebner's in the TNA Hall of Fame.
Right.
Do you feel like I know Tim White's in the WWE Hall of Fame, but it's under different circumstances.
Right.
I just feel like you, yourself, and other refs deserve to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Personally,
I don't disagree with that. I think referees should be recognized, even if it's a special recognition. The referee wing of the Hall of Fame, I would say,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, and it's very nice that people would think that I belong there. But as I mentioned, Earl and Dave Hebner definitely belong there. Timmy
sure.
Timmy is in the Warrior wing, as they call it. Teddy Long is technically in there, not as a referee, but pretty much for everything that he's done as a GM, as a manager, as a referee, pretty much, many hats that he wore. But to have a referee wing would be cool. And the good thing about right now at this time, because WWE under the current regime is so welcoming to other organizations of the past, like the NWA, like WCW, and like TNA. There's room in there for greats like Tommy Young,
Yeah.
and people like that. So I don't mind getting in line as long as those people get their flowers first.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I mean, it's like poor Dave Hebner, he sadly passed away a couple of years back, and I feel like him and Earl going in together would have been just a hell of a great moment for both of them,
Right. Right.
But, I think that we need to start the trend, or as Darren has just said, start the campaign.
Yes.
Well, I just find it mad that somebody like Earl Hebner, say, is not in the Hall of Fame, but somebody like, for example, like Mr. T is. I just find it crazy.
I understand that. I know there are some people, even good friends of mine in the business, who say, I don't know why that person is in. I'll use, like you said, the Mr. T example. But we also have to remember that those people, like a Muhammad Ali, like a Mr. T, celebrities like that, kind of made it cool to be a wrestling fan, because people that were either fringe fans or from outside the business look at that and go, I watch Mr. T on television. He's getting into this wrestling thing. Maybe I'll check it out. And then you're not going to catch everybody on board and make them all fans, but you might catch some. Even
Yeah,
if you
of
get a small
course.
percentage of it, it's done its job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
So
I totally understand
yeah.
that.
So I understand it. I just wish that along with that they would recognize others. I look at other people like the cameramen.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
look at the Rico and Stewie and Marty and guys like that. I think they deserve it. The people in the back, the people. There's so many. I mean, you'd have like too many wings, I guess, if you had everybody. I don't know.
Yeah,
Word,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, here we go, Jimmy. Let's go back to 1999. So, yeah, back in 99, all the WWE referees went on strike apart from you. And then the rest of your colleagues decided to open a can of word pass on you.
Yes.
How come you weren't part of that? Part of the strike?
That happened by accident, actually. And
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't originally in the cards, but what happened was I got married that year, September 5th, 1999. And prior to that, I had spoken to the talent relations office, JR, I love JR. JR is
Yeah, me too.
wonderful. And I said to him, look, JR, I'm getting married on the 5th. And what are the chances of getting 2 weeks off for a honeymoon? And I thought, I'd get well, maybe we'll give you one. I said, no, that's great. Yeah, take the 2 weeks. Don't worry about it. All good. I went, okay, cool. So while I went on my honeymoon, I didn't watch any wrestling. And that's when the strike angle started.
Okay.
And I didn't know what was going on because I want to stay married. So I wasn't watching wrestling on my honeymoon.
Fair enough.
So when I get back I get back to TV the first day, and, hey, how was the honeymoon? Everybody's asking about it. And I run into Hunter, who his nickname for me was Corduroy. Hey, Corduroy, welcome back. How does it feel to be out of work? Ha, ha, ha. And I just joked back at him, just offhanded said, well, Hunter, I can't afford to go on strike because I just got married. Ha, ha, ha. He laughed for a second. He went, oh, come with me. I went, what? He said, come with me. So he took me. He takes me into talent relations. He says, hey, JR, Korderas had a great idea. Now he gets my name right. Korderas had a great idea. And I'm like, I did? He said, yeah, he'll be the only regular referee that doesn't go on strike. He'll break the picket line. He'll be a scab. And I went,
Okay.
all right. So that's where the genesis of this was. From an offhanded comment as a joke, it ended up translating to becoming an on-screen angle.
Oh, I love that.
That's very clever.
I just wish that played out a lot. In some ways, I kind of wish that played out a bit longer.
Yeah.
No, it was just fine. It was just fine. I didn't want to become Danny Davis or anything like that. This was good.
It was interesting to see like Harvey Wimpleman, Tom Pritchard, those guys decided to referee the Unforgiven pay-per-view, and I'm thinking there's a little bit of a different twist to this,
Well, I only know Harvey via Bertha Faye, so
Oh yeah.
I was a bit confused there.
Harvey Wimpleman was with Kamala, wasn't he? And
Yes.
obviously Bertha Faye. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously you did referee on that event as well. So you were the only official referee on that card, more or less.
Yes, and that's where the six-pack challenge was. And when it looked like the finish was coming, Big Show hit a choke slam. I counted to 2, and the other referees had come to ringside and dragged me out of the ring and put a whipping on me.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of Kyoto, I still owe him a few receipts from that one.
Okay.
I'm lying on the ground and I'm trying to cover up, and I'm thinking to myself, who the heck? He kicked me so hard in the kidneys, I passed the stone. I mean, it was like unreal. And thank good. And then Steve Austin, who was the special enforcer for the match,
That's right. Yeah.
in case anything happened to me, came over and started taking out the referees one by one. And when we got to the back, he said, "Don't worry, kid, I got Kyoto for you." So he witnessed it. So,
Oh, brilliant. Well, it's been 26 years since then. So, when you do see Mike Connects, you really want to give him 26 or something.
all I have to do is mess up his hair. He'll get hot.
I've noticed that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's very protective of his hairstyle,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He's funny. So, WrestleMania 24, Undertaker versus Edge, is obviously a huge career highlight for you. That was your WrestleMania moment, would you say?
Absolutely, it was.
So Is there anything else in your career that stands out to you as a special moment?
Ah, man, how many special moments? Where do I begin? I mentioned Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
So many special moments with him in the ring. Um, gee, you know, whether it's matches or what it was a real special moment. I don't talk about this enough. Is the tribute to the troops shows that we did at
Okay,
Christmas
that's
time.
interesting.
Yeah,
Right.
they were amazing. I mean, and then actually traveling into a active war zone, believe it or not, when we went
Yeah.
to Iraq and we did a show at Camp Victory for the troops there. It was, you know, you're kind of nervous, but at the same time, they made us feel at ease.
Yeah.
So, flying in there on a military aircraft,
Hmm.
which was kind of cool. It's one of those big ones. There's no real seats in it. It's almost like jump seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we had to fly all the equipment over there too. We had to fly a ring over there and all
Wow.
the cameras and all that stuff. That was kind of cool. Getting to stay in Saddam's palace, one of Saddam's palaces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was empty, completely empty, except for there was one kind of throne-looking chair somewhere in one of the hallways. But other than that, it was barren. But I thought that was cool.
Okay.
Um, wow. Again, so many cool moments. You know what? Here's another one. Getting to officiate a match. It was an intercontinental title match, Edge versus Lance Storm at SummerSlam,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
because it was an all Canadian matchup. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, do
Yeah.
you know what? I should have written that down on my notes, but yeah, SummerSlam 2001.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very underrated match. I mean, again, an all Canadian matchup. It was kind of cool for that. Another moment actually involved ROH.
Okay.
So
Okay.
after I had left WWE for a couple of years, they were coming to Toronto for a pay-per-view event called Border Wars.
Right, yeah.
And I was going to go down and check out the show. I was going to reach out to Kevin Kelly, but he reached out to me ahead of time and says, "Hey, are you thinking of coming down to the show?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to attend just to say hi to everybody and check out the show." And he says, "Do you feel like working a match on the show?" I said, "I don't know. What were you thinking?" He says, "Just one match, Lance Storm versus Mike Bennett." And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great." And it is my hometown, Toronto, and unexpected. And I'm not saying this to be like Barry Horowitz and pat myself on the back, but when I went to the ring for the match, all of a sudden the crowd started cheering, and I got a "Thank you, Jimmy" chant.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
and I'm standing in the ring, and I'm welling up, and I'm hold it in. There's no crying in wrestling. Hold it in. There's no crying in wrestling. But that was so emotional for me. It was. And then after the match, Lance giving me a big hug in the middle of the ring, and just
Hmm.
they were coming. I couldn't hold it back. Uh, I
Sometimes
readily admit that I teared up.
there's nothing wrong with that, though. I think it just shows your true love for what you've been doing, and
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it is a love. It's funny because, which reminds me of another story. Way back when I first started with Jack Tunney, they used to do television tapings in Brantford, Ontario, which is at that time maybe an hour and 10-minute drive from the airport area where the talent used to stay. So they used to run Maple Leaf Gardens every 3 weeks on Sundays. And then on Mondays, they would do television tapings, Wrestling Challenge. They would do the
Yep.
tapings, 3 weeks worth of tapings at the Brantford Civic Center. And my job was they'd have these mini buses that they would rent, and I would shuttle talent back and forth. And on this one trip, I'm taking the announcers and the managers over. So sitting shotgun beside me is Classy Freddie Blassie. Sitting behind me is Bruno Sammartino and Captain Lou Albano. Sitting behind them is Mr. Fuji and Gorilla Monsoon and Billy Red Lions, who used to do the backstage interviews for the Canadian version of the show. So as
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
driving, they're all bantering back and forth, and I'm just driving. And Bruno, who was always friendly, never really struck a conversation with him. He says, "Hey, Jimmy, how long have you been working for Jack?" And now, again, it's like, oh, wow, Bruno Sammartino's asking about me. This is very cool the living legend. And I said, oh, I've been working for Jack about, I don't know, 5 or 6 months now. He says, do you like it? I said, yes, sir, I really do. He says, you really like it? I said, I absolutely love this. He says, can I offer you some advice? And right away, I'm going, oh my goodness, Bruno Sammartino is going to give me this wonderful advice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is the advice? He says, get out. I almost, I'm like thinking, does he mean get out of the bus? Get out. I'm driving. I can't get out. You know, he says, get out of this business because once it gets in your veins, it'll never leave you. And he's absolutely right. And he's absolutely right. Yeah.
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 Thing is though, Jimmy, what else would you be doing in your life if you never got into the professional wrestling industry?
That's an interesting question because my father was an automotive mechanic, had his own Texaco station way back when. He first had a BP station and then it became a Texaco station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was kind of hoping that I would follow in the family business. My brother was more mechanically inclined than I was. And he's able to do repairs on his own car. I could do minor little things, but I can't nowhere near what my dad, he could basically listen to an engine and know what was wrong with it.
Right.
I mean, this is back when actually you had pistons and carburetors and all, you know what I mean? It's not like the turbocharged things you have now and all these hybrids and stuff like that, but he was that good, you know, and I just, you know, as a youngster, I would help out when I can. I do minor things like change tires and do oil changes and that sort of stuff. But as far as repairs, it was never for me. And then I was fortunate enough to fall into the wrestling world. You know, not like it wasn't like I set out and said, you know, I'm going to be a part of this. I'm going to do this. But I loved it very much. And I was like a regular every 3 weeks at Maple Leaf Gardens before I got hired on by Jack. And when that moment came, it was like, this is for me. I don't know what my path is going to be in the wrestling business, but I love being a part of it in any way, shape or form.
So how old were you when you were hired by Jack?
So early 20s, probably about 23.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, full head of hair. So yeah. So it was in 1985 when I first started. I used to go down to the gardens every 3 weeks. I got what was the equivalent of season tickets.
Yeah.
So I would sit in those same seats, second row ringside. And if you ever watch those old tapes of Maple Leaf Gardens, they had that ramp that was level with the ring that went from the dressing room to the ring.
I know. Yeah.
So I was right beside that ramp, second row. So I would have my camera with me and I would take pictures of the talent when they were standing on the ramp and posing and so forth. So there was a place here in Toronto when you'd have to take your film in to get developed back then. But this place would double your prints for $1. So I'd get 2 sets of prints because it only cost me $1. I would keep one set for a souvenir and I take the other set and sell them at the next show for $2 a picture. So basically this was helping fuel my wrestling habit. It would pay for my seats and whatever. And maybe make a few bucks on the side until I ran into a fellow by the name of Elio Zarlenga, who's the guy who took the photos for the program in the magazine in Toronto. And I didn't know who he was. And he comes up, hey, can I take a look at your pictures? I said, sure. He says, oh, not bad. You take some pretty good pictures. I said, thanks. He goes, you selling them? I said, yeah. He says, how much are they? I said, $2, $2 each. He goes, you can't do that. Why not? Who are you? And he told me who he was. I went, first thing I thought of was not I'm going to get arrested or anything like that. Was, oh my God, they're going to take my wrestling tickets away from me.
Yeah. Well, okay.
He says, you don't seem like a bad guy. Just don't do it right outside on the street in front of the venue. Just go down the half a block down the road, try and sell them there. You'll get away with it. Nobody will see you. Just don't do it where they can see it. And I was like, that's really nice of you. Thanks. And we became friends. And he said, you know what? Maybe I can get Jack to hire you on as my assistant and help me take pictures ringside. So he introduced me to Jack, and Jack said, well, we don't need another photographer, but we'll find something for the kid to do. And that's
okay.
And that's when I became the guy who, went to the airport to pick someone up to bring them back down to Maple Leaf Gardens or like I said, transporting people back and forth from television tapings when they were in Brantford and stuff like that. So I was kind of like the guy who ran errands. That
So,
was my foot in the door.
so from running errands to putting on the blue referee shirt,
Hmm.
tell us about that story from what you were doing back then to putting on the referee shirt
Well,
for the first time.
yeah, it'd been a little over a year. I'll say it. I was a gopher. Go for this, go for that, go here, go there. And I was like, okay, whatever it was. I was enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. And I was making friends in the locker room as well. So Pat Patterson, who um, I had become friends with, who was kind of like a mentor to me. He says to Jack one day, and I'm standing right there, and he says, Jack, you know what? We have the kid here. He's running around all day long, running errands for us. And then during the show, he's just sitting around waiting for something to do. He says, why don't we use him during the show? We can make him a referee. And Jack says to Pat, he says, Pat, do we really want to smarten the kid up? I'm standing right there. He says, do we really want to smarten the kid up? And Pat says, Jack, he's in the locker room with the boys. He kind of knows what's going on. Let's use him. And Jack's like, okay, whatever you think, Pat. So Pat told me to get the black sneakers, the black pants, the blue shirt, and a black bow tie and carry it with me at all times. Yeah. So I did that, but I didn't know enough to ask questions.
Okay, yeah.
About how do I do this job? I never refereed before. I've only seen it. In my mind, I think I have an idea, but I don't. So one day we were at a live event or a house show here in Newmarket, Ontario. Chief Jay Strongbow was the lead agent that day, and he says, hey, Jimmy Jam, you got your ref gear with you? And I said, yes, Chief, I do. He says, go put it on. You're reffing tonight. And I didn't want to say, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I said, yes, sir. He says, you'll be reffing a match with SD Jones and the Red Demon, who is Jose Luis Rivera. So he says, get with them. They'll tell you what to do. And SD and I were real good friends. And I said, SD, got some good news and some bad news for you. He says, oh, what's the good news? I said, I'm reffing your match tonight. He says, oh, really? What's the bad news? I said, I'm reffing your match tonight. I have no idea what I'm doing. He says, I'll tell you what. He says, just stay close to me and I'll talk you through it, which he did. I could only imagine how robotic I looked out there and nervous. But after the match, got to the back and he just sat me down and says, okay, you broke the ice. What you need to do is go find the veterans, talk to them, ask them what you need to do, how to do this, to watch your matches, what you can improve on, and just keep learning. And
yeah, that
was the beginning of me getting my bow tie in the ring.
Nice,
love it,
like that.
You're next up here, boyo.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Jimmy. My brother's just popped up, and he never joins the show. He never watches, but he's a massive Golden Era fan. He stopped watching wrestling after the Attitude Era. So now his name's popped up. I found out some information about you today that I never knew. So I need to ask you this question, and he will appreciate this question as well. So, Mr. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I found out today that you're the one who come up with the name of his finishing move, the Perfect Plex. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true. That is true.
Oh, wow.
See,
yes.
I didn't know that until I read it, and I was quite shocked at that.
Yeah, again, it was one of those offhanded things. A lot happened at Maple Leaf Gardens. This was where it happened as well. This was when he first started the Mr. Perfect character, and his finish was a fisherman suplex with bridge, right? So after his match, he got to the back, and I'm standing beside Jack Lanza after he came to the back, and Jack said to Kurt, he said, Vince loves the character Mr. Perfect. He loves the finish. He wants you to come up with a catchy name for it, a really good name that fits the character. And I don't know why, just standing there, that name popped into my head. So I said to Jack, Jack, do you mind if I make a suggestion? He says, sure, what do you got? I said, how does Perfect Plex sound? He turned to Kurt and said, hey, Kurt, we got the name for your finish. right like that. And it was
Done.
just it wasn't like I was consciously trying to think of it. It just popped in my head,
Yeah.
you know. And Kurt was always thankful for it. And Kurt was a well-known ribber. And every time he would think about ribbing me, he'd come, I would rib you too, but guess what? You came up with perfect plex, so I won't do that.
Oh, excellent.
That is a really cool name though for a finisher, and it just suited him as well.
No, it did. And again, it was one of those things that, you know, sometimes, you know, thoughts pop into your head, especially in the wrestling business when you're watching and you're trying to learn certain things. Just things will pop up, and don't be afraid to mention them. It's how you present it, you know, especially with talent. When you're a referee, don't go up to guys, hey guys, you know what you guys should do?
Yeah.
Instead of that, you know, hey guys, I was listening to you go over the match. What do you, can I make a suggestion? And
That's
then,
the key.
you know, and most of the guys are
Yeah.
very receptive, and some guys, depending on who, will say, no thanks.
I've just seen our friend Steve come up. So our friend Steve Kingdon is actually one who made our theme song.
Oh,
So if you would like your own theme song, Jimmy, Steve is your guy.
oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, Steve. I don't know, man,
Well,
that one hit me out of left field.
it's surprising. Steve can do absolutely anything.
Yeah, he does. He's done quite a few songs for us.
Yeah, he's a very talented man.
He is. Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
well, I'll leave it to you, Steve. If you do, that's wonderful.
Right then. So, it's you again. You got a fantastic question. This is a personal one for you as well.
Yeah. So this one's for me, Jimmy, personally.
Okay.
From me. So my personal favorite match of yours is the Kurt Angle Rey Mysterio match from SummerSlam 2002.
Mm.
SummerSlam 2002 is my favorite wrestling pay per view of all time. But that opener, like, wow, that was perfect. What is your thoughts? Like, was that your first Rey Mysterio match you ever called?
I think I did one of his dark matches when he first came in. I may have. I don't want to say I did, but that was pretty much the first one that I ever did on TV or pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Angle's like a massive legend. Rey Mysterio is a legend, and
Yes.
like you being in the middle of that match and just being in the ring with them, just that must have been real, like, amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible. I wasn't conscious of it at the time because I was so focused on doing my job.
Mm-hmm.
But listening to the feedback afterwards, that's when people start saying, you know what, like my theory and the way I've always been taught is the referee is there to help be the conduit and the connecting tissue between the two talents in the ring or the four, whatever the case may be, to help them tell their story without being overt and part of the story, unless a spot calls for you to be, you know, noticed. So you're invisible until you need to be visible.
Yeah.
And was my intention, was to not be overly visible, but at the same time trying to keep up with those guys.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't easy. Let's put it that way. But there's sometimes where you do matches like that where you feel it, where you say, you know what, that one felt good, because I'm my own worst critic. Like I'll go back and I'll bust everybody's, you know what, to saying, did you see anything? What did I do? Please tell me. Did I do anything that could have been different? Or blah, blah. You know, instead of saying how was it, I'm saying what did I do wrong? Because nobody's perfect. I understand that nobody's perfect, but I was harder on myself for some reason. That's just the way I was. But after that one, it was almost like I want to go ask for feedback, but I feel so good after this one. I'm just going to let it set in.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I get that.
It's strange, like, because when that, how old was I? I must have been about 13 or 14 when that happened in 2002.
Yeah.
You don't appreciate how good the match was until you get older and you watch it again. You think, "Holy crap, that match was insane,"
Mhm.
and it really does stand out.
And how that match didn't get 5-star. How Kurt Angle has not had a 5-star match, according to some people, I don't get.
Yeah.
I think Uncle
It's
Dave needs to
corrupted.
retire and look in the mirror and realize what the hell he's been doing for several years.
Yeah, I won't get into that, but I get it. I mean, people have their own ways of. For me, it's like I liked it. I wasn't invested in it. I really liked it, or I thought, I this whole 2-star, 5-star, 3-star, whatever it is, trying to grade a match like that, I don't know, because there's so many nuances to a match that could make it. What would you grade Andre versus Hogan from WrestleMania 3?
Okay, that's a good question.
That's a
You
bloody good
flipped this on
question.
us. So
Mhm.
that's a hard one because of the match itself, probably a 1-star. The moment of the body slam and everything involved in the build is a 5-star.
Right.
So it's yeah, I don't know. I can't rate that
Okay.
match.
Because everybody from that watched WrestleMania 3 rave about Steamboat Savage, as they should.
Yeah,
Mhm.
As they should. Trust me, that match was fantastic. But what moment from WrestleMania 3 does everyone remember?
Yeah.
It's like WrestleMania 18. When you go to WrestleMania 18, when you ask people what was the main event of WrestleMania 18, everybody goes, "Oh, wait, yeah,
This is
that
it.
was the one with Rock and Hogan." Hold on. The main event was it was Triple H and Jericho, but a lot of people don't remember that because people remember moments,
Mm-hmm.
iconic moments.
yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. And and when you have a moment like Rock and Hogan, when you have a moment like the bodies, and I know people are going to say, well, so and so had body slammed Andre the Giant prior, and so had bought it, but that wasn't the story being told.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we can nitpick about stuff like that, but there was a lot of people that didn't realize that Antonio Inoki slammed him in Japan,
That's right.
or Harley Race did it elsewhere in Mid-South or wherever it was.
It's interesting because there's been so many occasions like that where, halfway through a show, something so big and memorable that happened took, it blindsides the whole entire main event. It's like King of the Ring 98 when Mick Foley comes off the Hell in a Cell.
Right.
Kane won the WWF Championship that night, but no one remembers it.
No.
Right.
It's, I totally see where you're coming from.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So, has Vince McMahon or someone else backstage ever lost their cool with you whilst you're wearing your earpiece during a match?
During the match, no. I have been. I had a nice talking to from him one time many years ago.
Vince.
This is Vince, yeah. Because if you did something he didn't like, you would hear it when you got back to Gorilla. But if you did something he really didn't like, you get back to Gorilla, the glasses would come off, and he'd give you that come here finger. And I got that one time during an 8-man tag match, which turned into a big cluster. And he just tore a hide off me. Of course, what rolls downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I got all the heat for it, and he just tore a hide off me. And playing the role of William Regal that night was Jack Lanza. So after that, he just kind of took me to the side and said, "Don't worry about it. He gets hot like that all the time. Once he cools down, chances are he might even come over and apologize to you." And he didn't really come over and apologize later, but he did come over and say, "I didn't mean to yell at you like that, but I just want everything to be right, and I want you to, be as best as you can be," and all that kind of stuff. But it was kind of a non-apology.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, because I think he could tell by the look in my face, like I was going, like, you know what I mean? He's an intimidating man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was standing in Gorilla. I'm like, okay, the first thought in my head again, am I going to be here tomorrow?
Mm.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, when you're in a situation like that, it's not personal. It's just trying to get the best out of what you're doing,
Right.
And certain people's approach is totally different, and Vince's approach is this, isn't it? And going through the experience you just explained, there's nothing wrong with that,
No,
but it's just the way Vince is or was,
see, that's a difference between different bosses. Vince was the boss, and that's the way he handled things that he didn't like. And then there's people like you look at someone like a Hunter in the current regime, the current era, and he's more, will take somebody aside and ask them, why did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you feel like this was necessary here? He would talk to them and get them to explain, and then explain why it didn't work, why he should have done so. Thought that maybe they shouldn't have done something like that. I mean, but he's human too. There's times where he'll probably get pissed off, but but he's more calm, because he understands that people will listen and absorb more when you talk to them as opposed to yell at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to talk to someone because you're cross about something and you just yell at them straight away, it's going to throw the whole situation out. It's all about the approach. Anyway, so talk about controversy. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion on today's WWE? Do you like the format, the concept, and the creative direction they're in right now?
There's a lot of the elements I like. I think
Okay.
there is. I like the fact that they do attempt long-term storytelling, because that is where you get people invested.
Yeah.
Because people get invested in stories as opposed to actually. I mean, I don't want to get into the debate which works better, the storytelling aspect or the dream match aspect, because people have their tastes.
Yeah.
But when you watch throughout time, history dictates that angles draw money, characters draw money, personas draw money. People that the fans get invested in are the ones that draw money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is a business predicated on making money. And in order to make money, you have to give them something that they can get invested in. That being said, not everything they do is perfect. There are times when I watch and I wonder, why did they do this? Why did they do that? But that's only coming from my perspective, from stuff that I listen to sitting in the locker room with guys, talking about matches, talking about things, talking about angles, and talking about reasons why.
Yeah.
You have to give me a reason why this is happening, as opposed to, let's put it on TV. This will be cool.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. They have more hits than misses lately in this regime, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, look at, I know people are saying, well, their numbers from the opening day on Netflix when the premiere Raw to now has dropped, but that was expected, because the first show on Netflix, people are going to tune in, especially either the lapsed fan or people who are not really wrestling fans, to check it out to see what it's all about, because it's on a large platform. It's on a worldwide platform, as opposed to here in the States, it was on USA Network. Or I'm saying here in the States, I'm in Canada. What the hell am I talking about? There's that bling. So, like I said, for the most part, I do enjoy watching it. It was tough watching 3 hours of SmackDown. I know for me, it was a lot to digest. So now that it's at 2 hours, it's almost like, it's weird, because you got 3 hours felt like too long. 2 hours feels sometimes like, there could have been a little bit more.
Yeah.
Raw is that nice sweet spot where you can do 215, 220, 230 and not feel like it's been rushed.
Yeah.
But also not feel like you're trying to get too much in. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that does make a lot
I'm going to ask you a random question here, Jimmy, right? Because this bugs me so much. It's probably because I prefer the past to the present day. Right. Red ropes on a ring, blue ropes, or white ropes?
Well, I'm kind of partial to the SmackDown blue, obviously.
Good answer, yeah.
But if I'm watching now, red ropes. I like that Raw had the red ropes because it distinguished it from SmackDown.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember if yeah, we did do a rope change for ECW. If I'm not mistaken, they were black.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, because that was the fun part. The rope change in between shows. We'd have to run out there and change the ropes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and right now, I don't mind the white ropes. It kind of looks, as long as it's all uniformed, I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just, I got this personal bug against white ropes because they were like introduced in WrestleMania 23, and I was like, "What is that?"
Right.
And then we just start to see more of them. I'm like, "Oh God, I need the red, white, and blue to like we did have in the new generation Golden era. I used to love that, but
Right. It's kind of like the advertising on the ring.
mm-hmm.
I know when I first saw it, I went, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah, yeah.
But now I barely notice it.
Mm.
Other
Yeah,
than when
that's true.
CM Punk's lying on the table with Slim Jim above his head, that
I know. What the hell is
Noticed
that? Oh. Go on then, boy. We got one last question for you. Then, if it's okay, we just got a couple questions in the comments.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So if you were to, okay. So let's think of this as, say you're 23 again, Jimmy. You're starting fresh.
Okay.
In today's times, and if you could be a referee for any wrestling company right now, WWE, TNA, AEW, who would you want to work for?
Oh, that's a
Because I mean, the TNA audience, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they love you too.
If I was 23 again, just starting out,
Yeah.
definitely it would have to be probably I will say, believe it or not, TNA,
Wow.
and with the hopes of eventually making it to WWE because I sorry, go ahead.
So, what about if you went to NXT and you started learning your craft there, then elevate to WWE? Would that be an option?
Absolutely, because again, that's where you learn. And you
Yeah.
look at the coaches and everybody down there, you got some of the best coaches in the world. So you're learning
Sure.
from the best. And that's the difference between now and then. Like I said, when I first started, I was thrown to the wolves. Here you go. Put your stuff on, get in there. Whereas
Yeah.
now, unless you're ready, they won't put you in there. And there
Yeah.
is a facility where you can go learn the correct way to do things or the correct way for in their eyes.
Yeah.
Because every company has their own kind of vision and their own kind of style. So yeah.
Who's teaching that in NXT? Like the referee side of things. Do you know?
I'm sorry?
Who's teaching the referees their trade, like teaching them over in NXT right now?
Well, it's
Like, is it go on.
not one specific. I know they have Daryl, who's the lead official down there, who helps with the training of the new officials. But guys like Terry Taylor are there. Others that come in, they have Shawn Michaels, of course. You've got Matt Bloom. You've got all these. Fit Finley is down there. There's a name I should have mentioned earlier too. Loved working with Fit. Just to listen to him put a match together, I'm like, oh my, this guy's next level. Guys like that. So you got TJ Wilson down there, who kind of bounces back and forth between NXT and the main roster with helping out. So they've got some smart people who know how to utilize their referees correctly, as opposed to just having a referee there saying, well, hey, go. You kind of know what you're doing, but there's a lot of nuances to the job that seem to get lost on some people.
Yeah, no, I understand that. No, that's cool.
The thing is, though, if you were to go to WWE, would you want to wear those new referee shirts?
No, because they're kind of like those Lululemons, and they don't fit me well. They show a little bit too much, the little pouch around the bottom, and
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah, they're not
There was-
flattering. Let's put it that way.
There was something quite unique when the Ruthless Aggression era started, and you were drafted to the SmackDown brand, if I remember correctly, and you were gifted with the blue referee shirts, and they just looked their absolute part, different and fresh, but it worked so well, you know.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, they were, and they were my favorite shirt to wear. I love those. I still have a
Yeah.
couple.
Do you? Oh, excellent.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm not parting with them.
No. Well, well, there we have it. That's our questions. We've got a couple in the comments. I'd love for you to answer, Jimmy. Just I'll start from the top.
I know Andrew Green.
Andrew Green. So Andrew Green, our number one Facebook fan, who's finally converted over to YouTube. Finally, took him a while.
That one there.
That one there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, Jimmy, did you ever get the chance to work with Hulk Hogan? If you're dead, what would you like to work with? And what's he trying to say there?
I don't really know. But I think he's trying to say, did you ever get the chance to ever like work with Hogan, like call a match of his?
Oh yes, I did get to work with Hogan, and it's incredible. It's a different feel.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So man, it's a different world when you're in there with him.
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
It's just a different aura. I mean, you talk about fan reactions, but there's a different atmosphere. There's a different feeling when he's in the ring. It's hard to explain. Well, people say, well, explain it. You can't. It's just different.
Yeah,
you know?
you got to be in that moment.
But one of my favorite moments was, believe it or not, it was much, much later. I think it was like Judgment Day 2003, I think it was. I got to referee his match with Roddy Piper when he was Mr. America.
Ah, yes.
Yep, that's right.
It was kind of like all the old farts got together in that match, you know. It was, and just before we're going out, Hulk looks at me and goes, "Hey, all that's missing is that ramp, brother." And he's referring to Maple Leaf Gardens that had that iconic ramp that everybody remembers.
Yeah.
So our friend Camden, he's up in Liverpool. Poor soul. Every referee seems to have their own counting technique. Is there something you're specifically told to ensure is different?
No, they didn't want us to be different, but they wanted us to be somewhat similar. But their main point was that our cadences should be the same, and try not to have any tells, if you know what I'm saying. Because I notice, I guess coming from the world of the striped shirt, I notice some referees have a tell between when they count for a finish and when they count for a false finish or a near fall.
Okay.
It kind of and when I see it, it's one of those things. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I don't give it away. I don't tell people, because I'll give you this. What happened here when SummerSlam was here in 2019, we used to do a TV show called Aftermath up here, which is a post show for WWE programming, because the Sportsnet network used to air all the WWE shows up here. They had the rights at the time. So I'm sitting with the producer at the show, and I'm watching a match, and I won't say who it was in the ring, one of the referees. And there was a pinfall attempt, and he counted 1, 2, and he jumped. He says, "Oh, I thought that was it." He says, "Well, how come you didn't jump?" I said, "Because I knew that wasn't the finish." He says, "Yeah, but you know what the finish is." I said, "No, I'm not in the back. I don't know what the finish is. I have no idea, but I just knew that wasn't it." He says, "How did you know?" I said, "I just knew." So he's egging me like what was it? How did you know? I said, "Okay, the referee has a tell." He goes, "Meaning what?" I said, "He counts different when he counts 3 than when he counts 2 or 2.5 or 2 3/4, whatever it is." He says, "What was it?" I said, "I don't want to tell you." He says, "Why?" I said, "Because it's going to ruin it. If I tell you, you won't be able to unsee it." And he's like, he kept it. "Oh, come on. I said, "James, I don't want to tell you, because trust me." So here comes another one. He goes, "Oh," and he, again, I didn't flinch, and he goes, "Oh, come on, tell me." I said, he wouldn't leave me alone. So I said, "Okay, I will tell you, but this is on you now, because I'm going to tell you. And every time he's refereeing a match, this person's refereeing a match, you're not going to be able to unsee it." So I explained to him what it was. And then it happened again. And he goes, You're right. I cannot see it. That's it. Exactly. It's like everybody talks about peeling the curtain back, and I understand everybody wants to get a nice little in-depth look at what goes on behind the scenes. But those are little things that I don't want to give away, because then it takes away from the match itself and your enjoyment. Because if you see it, now you're going, well, I see he did this or she did this, and I knew it.
Oh, I love it. So our friend Tommy Gunn has said, was Jimmy ever sent to Vince's office?
Nope, not to his office.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I was saved from going to the office. If I got in trouble, it was always at Gorilla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Matthew Rodriguez. Hello, Matthew. Question for Jimmy. Do you remember the 2005 Royal Rumble, Paul London elimination by Snitsky?
You know what? I don't remember that. Someone will have to refresh my memory, because it's the 2005 Rumble where Vince tore both his quads.
That's right.
Yeah, it was.
That,
So
again,
that's what sticks in my head from then.
Mine too.
Who won the Rumble? Oh, yeah, Vince. No, oh, yeah. Cena and Batista. But yeah, no, I do remember. I think I do. Isn't it the lariat over, or the clothesline whilst he's on the other side of the ropes?
And he does like a shooting star press on his stomach.
Yeah.
Flip over, yeah.
Okay. What else have we got here? Again from Tommy. Any cool memorabilia? Well, you've still got your blue referee shirts, haven't you? So
Yeah, cool. Referee shirts. I got signed Eddie Guerrero 8x10 right there, which is a great memorabilia piece. Cool. Got stuff up, photos with people like Pete Rose and Dan Marino and a bunch of athletes, and who else is up there? Oh, myself with Boys to Men. Actually, one of the coolest pieces of memorabilia I have is many years ago in Montreal, there was a boxing match between Raymond Rougeau and Owen Hart.
Oh, okay.
And in the corner of Owen was George Savallo, who is a Canadian boxing legend. And I forget who was in the ring, who's in the corner of Raymond. There was somebody else in there. So they contested this match with actual boxing gloves, and they had rounds as opposed to just one big wrestling match type thing. And they had a person walking around with the round cards between the rounds. So I have the one that says round 5 on it, signed by George Savallo and Owen Hart.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Again, that's hidden behind my door there, that I don't let anybody see because I don't want it to disappear.
No, of course. Yeah.
But the thing is, just recently I was at a signing in Gatineau, Quebec, when Ray Rougeau was there, and I wanted to bring it with me so he could sign it, and I forgot to bring it with me.
Oh.
So who won the boxing match in Jimmy?
Oh, Raymond Rougeau. It's his hometown.
Okay.
He was the baby face. Owen was the heel. So
fair enough. It must be weird for you as well, because I seem like, obviously when you were younger you used to watch a lot of wrestling, being in Canada and that, and you watch a lot of Stampede wrestling. And then obviously, like, when you went to WWE and you got the ref like Bret and Owen matches, like especially like Bret Hart, that must have been a really weird feeling for you. Like, obviously watching the Stu Hart stuff growing up.
no, absolutely. I mean, not only that. See, here in Toronto, we were so blessed to have so much wrestling on television pre the WWF at the time expansion and taking over everything. Because here in Toronto, I'll give you an example, because Maple Leaf Wrestling was our main source from the Tunnies, who were the promoters. So we had Maple Leaf Wrestling on. We had from the Buffalo, New York affiliate stations that we catch. We got Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, as well as WWF Wrestling. Then on another Canadian channel, we would get Stampede Wrestling, as you said. We would get International Wrestling from Montreal on another channel. We would get AWA Wrestling from another channel up here, because everything was syndicated back then. And then Saturday nights was Hockey Night in Canada. And then after Hockey Night in Canada at about 10:30 at night, we would get on another affiliate station, All Star Wrestling from Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
So it was pretty much all day long wrestling, then a hockey break, and then one more wrestling show before you go to bed.
We should have been born in Canada.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, we are in the UK. That is.
Yeah, we weren't as lucky.
No, we were not lucky.
No.
Well,
We should have worked.
We're still technically part of the Commonwealth, are we not? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's so
It's not-
bad over here, Jimmy. It's terrible.
Yeah, we're
We'd rather be over where you're
for
at,
sure.
honestly. It's right now the UK. I mean, yeah, the weather's okay, but it just runs so badly. It's terrible.
Oh, yes.
I know.
I don't even want to get into that here. My goodness.
The thing is, yeah, it's definitely one of those. Don't get me wrong. Where we live too here in the UK, we're in the southwest of England. So you've heard of Stonehenge?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just up the road. It's just a pile of rocks. It does nothing for us down here.
Oh my
We're,
goodness.
we're about 30 minutes from Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got one more question from Darren, which is he's your brother, yeah?
Yeah, it's mine.
He's not my brother.
Well, yeah, he's your brother too.
Oh, he is. All right. I
Okay.
can't work this out. There we go. So, would you? What would be your best golden era match that you called? Of course, Darren would say that. He's a golden era man.
Ooh. Golden Arrow match. Boy, see, now I got to try and get the old brain cells fired up, trying to remember back then.
It was
Come
a
on, let's-
long time ago,
Let's
Jimmy.
chuck the coal in. Let's get the fire
Yes.
blazing.
Okay. You know what? Probably, believe it or not, the first Survivor Series, because I got the honor of getting to referee at the first Survivor Series in Cleveland. And there was a 5-team versus 5-team women's match, which the
Okay.
Jumping
Yeah.
Bomb Angels won.
Yep.
So that was for me huge, because that was my first pay-per-view that I ever got to work on.
Okay.
And also in the same pay-per-view, I was on the inside for that match, and Joey Morello was on the outside of the ring, because those matches, all the Survivor Series elimination matches, had 2 referees, one on the inside, one on the outside. And then for the main match, the main one, which was Team Hogan versus Team Andre, I was the outside official.
Got ya.
So it was kind of cool, because we did the one spot where I had to jump in and help separate Hulk and Andre. And someone snapped a picture that I have somewhere in here of me standing, kind of yelling at Hulk with Andre in the background,
Oh, excellent.
like with Joey with Andre and me with Hulk, which is kind of cool.
No, that is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Darren did say earlier on in the comments that Survivor Series 87 best match with Jimmy for me.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
There we go. So Devin Dowling. Hey, Jimmy, how's your podcast with RJ going? He's one of my good buddies. Hope he's not too much for you.
RJ. Well, if it wasn't for RJ, he's the one who pushes all the buttons, so we need RJ. RJ's a good dude. He's the one who actually, I don't know if it was his idea or Brian's idea, because when Brian first started the Roughing It Up podcast, it was just Brian and him. And then I wish I could be certain which one of them was the one who said, oh, why don't we bring Jimmy on board?
Yeah.
And ever since then, RJ and I, cool. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, of course, Daniel Spencer's now joined. He's still with TNA. So we got pretty much all the eras covered from the golden era on.
Yeah. I think you've got something quite special there with you three. I do like that. It's good. And the thing is, I really love what you and Donnie do each week as well. That's great fun.
Oh, I have a lot of fun with Donnie. He's from around here, and I've known him for years. Donnie was booking shows up here for a long time. He's the first person who ever booked Hogan on an indie show.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was the booker for that show, and it was he always talks about how, Hogan came up to me, he says, okay, boss man, what do you need me to do tonight? And he was like, holy, what that?
Oh, excellent. No, we're definitely maybe when the time's right, maybe November time, we should get you back on, Jimmy, but with Donnie as well.
Okay.
Maybe we could talk about what happened 28 years ago. Maybe we'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we'd like to do that. We'd love to talk to Donnie because he was there. Well, you were both there, of course, weren't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, there's something about that Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. We'll save that for another day, maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, I just want to thank you again, Jimmy, so much for coming on to the show, spending giving up your own time to come and talk to us two. We are very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
No, I'm grateful. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for what you guys do. What you guys do is great. I love listening to you guys when I can, and I appreciate you guys thinking of me and having me on.
No, thank you again, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
All right.
We're going to leave you to it. We'll let you crack on with your day.
All right, guys.
We're going to disappear into the distance ourselves. So thank you again, Jimmy. All the best, my friend.
Thank you,
And we'll
Jimmy.
speak to you soon.
You got it. Thank you, my friend.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks, Jimmy. See ya. Well, that was fantastic.
That was awesome.
That was fantastic. And you know what? We're about to end the show. And guess what, guys? We're going to be back again in 10 minutes. We're going to do another show for you.
Yeah.
We're going to do SummerSlam predictions just because. Go on.
Jimmy's put us in a good mood.
I'm in a fantastic mood. I could be doing this all night.
Yeah, so we are going to do another episode in 10 minutes.
And do you know what? We're going to end this episode with not one swear word because we have not swore this whole entire episode. I feel fantastic. Don't do it.
I'm not. Have we not swore?
We've not sworn once.
What?
So all things are possible here at the TDS Wrestling Show. Wow.
Just end the show. You've got to end the show now.
Right, guys. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Tezzy Bear's going to go and play with his doofer and have a cigarette. I'm going to go and give my wife a little bit of... No, I'm not. She's probably in her bed. But anyway, cheers, guys. We will see you. We'll see you in 10 minutes. We're going to be back in just a minute. Love it. What a fantastic experience I've had.